Safety,
Yes.
safety,
Always.
safety is our responsibility. Safety first, safety always. Now, it is always your responsibility to remain safe at workplace. There is one credentials that has qualified each and every one of us to be here today. Now, that credential is that we came in here safe, isn't it? Complete. If, for instance, now I come in here with amputated hand and I'm asking for an employment in an engineering firm like this, of course, I will not be qualified. So it is our ability to work safely, to come back the next day safe, that qualifies us to work as a workman, as an engineer in workplace every day. What is hazard? The hazards everywhere, especially in workplace. The ability to identify it and provide mitigating factors is what helps us to work safely and in harmony. Now, hazard. Hazard is anything that has the potentials to cause harm. I repeat, anything. In other words, if dust has the potential to cause harm to me, it becomes an hazard. Okay? If the ions around here in this working place has the potential to cause harm to me, it becomes an hazard. If the vehicles, as you can see, I was reversing, I was not closing my eyes again, safety first. I was looking at the four people with me, right? So it becomes a hazard, or we have hazards everywhere. The sun itself, that you are standing under the sun to work, is an hazard. The dust that you inhale in the dusty environment is an hazard. The reflection of the sun with the metals you are working with is an hazard. Collision with vehicles moving, especially in this place, which is not properly marked in terms of pedestrian walkway and vehicular walkway. In other words, we might walk thinking that this is where we are supposed to walk, and vehicle is coming to that direction, it becomes an hazard. So, that proactive approach to all these potential that are inherent in this workplace is an hazard. And your ability to identify it and provide solution is what makes you a good workman. A good workman is not how proficient you are in your job. It's not how professional you are in your job. It's not how commanding you are in your job. It's not how efficient you are in your job. It's your ability to work safely and come back the next day makes you a very good workman. Why? Sustained injury, fatal injury or severe injury, the next day I will not come. That is obvious. Last time that you had an incident, I think the next day or thereabout you did not come. You did not. Who is feeling the pains? You were the one that feel the pains. And if it was so severe, the next thing they will employ another person to replace you. Maybe pay you 1 or 2 or so months, and off it goes. You are the one that will suffer it. You are the one. That's why we said in our mantra that safety, it is your responsibility. So it is your responsibility to identify hazard in every working environment. And you identify hazard by analyzing the risks involved in the job. When you properly analyze the risk, let me give risk analysis of jobs. If you want to cross road, there's something you do. Do you just cross the road like that? No. What do? You check your right, you check your left. The officer says you should check 2 times. Check and check. Of course, when you are checking, there are vehicles coming, but you still cross. What did you cross? You have analyzed and calculated that before you cross, the distance between you and the vehicle is enough for you to cross safely before the vehicle comes to that distance, isn't it? That is called risk analysis. That is called risk analysis. As you are doing this job, it's going to do with mostly lifting of high heavy equipment, cutting, welding. What are the hazards inherent to all this? Of welding is fire. Those are the hazards inherent. And so how do we now stop it? Is to make sure that there are no combustible materials around where we are working. They are not explosive. They are not substance that ignite fire where we are working. If the load is being lifted with lifting equipment, maybe say chain block, crane, as the case may be, your ability to calculate that before you go close to that load, that even if there's any swing or any drop, it will not affect you. It's called risk assessment. It means you have analyzed it very well. So, for the want of time, hazard identification is a proactive, continuous process of recognizing, 1, documenting, 2, analyzing potential source of harm. You have analyzed, you have identified it. It's not the duty of the safety officer alone to identify hazard. That's why I started with that, and it is your responsibility. You identify it. Then you saying that they say if you see something, you should say what? You should say something and do something. If you see something, say something. If you see any potential harm to Mr. A, I should say something. So, oh, this thing will harm you. And I will only do something about it. From tomorrow, we'll look at the job methodology, the analysis of the job step by step, and the risks that are involved, and the mitigating factor. What are the mitigating factors? Are the control measures, so that in case it happens, it will not be too heavy, the impact will not be too much on you. Now, the key methods of identifying hazard in workplace. First and foremost, what you are going to do after here is inspection of the site. We are going to inspect the whole site. We are going to work, inspect the tools, inspect the equipment, the machineries, and the whole workplace. Those are one key factor that we have to identify the hazard. By so doing, we will come and ask ourselves the question: what are the hazards inherent? What are the hazards present in this place we are going to work? That is one. Two, the job hazard analysis. Like I said, job safety analysis. We break down specific tasks. What are the tasks for the day? What are we going to do for the day? What are the risks and hazards inherent in that job? Step by step. Manager is a monopoly of knowledge. We are all team player here, right? And in a team, what is paramount is to win. And how do you win? To score a goal, isn't it? And to achieve that goal, it takes what? A collective effort. It doesn't take an individual effort. It takes a collective effort. So I'm saying this to mean that irrespective of position, irrespective of whatever specialization, so to say, we must come down to the list of the person that we think is the least, to work as a chain. A chain. A chain. When the chain is broken, that is a weak link. That accident can happen. So a stronger chain is there to support the weaker chain. You jack it up and work as a team. That is one. Don't come to work. If you work exhaustively, you cannot come to work. We work and take a rest so that we can come to work the next day and work effectively. So that is what we are going to look into. Seriously, that they are working up there, putting on screw, nails, and all those things. Not then I will start and say, after I have my PPE. I don't know, it's crazy. So it's the last resort. We don't rely on PPE. We don't depend on PPE. It's the last resort. By the time we now do other categories of elimination, categories, hierarchy of of control, hierarchy of control. Which first and foremost, if we can eliminate it, if we can remove it from there, that is the best way. If we can substitute it with another thing instead of that very one that is high risk, is the best as well. Then engineering control. We have engineering control like cordoning the whole place, putting physical barriers, putting caution sign, warning sign that one should not go beyond this point. Is engineering control. And administrative control is what you are doing here. Will teach you on what, and it's like you sign like undertaking to work safe. Then the last one, like I said, is the PPE. On the case that it happens, on the event that it happens, what do you rely on? So the PPE. On the event that I'm working and something suddenly fall on my leg, I now rely on the PPE. On the event that I step on the sharp object projected from the floor, I rely on the PPE. On the event that I step on the slippery surface, I rely on the PPE that has, in as much as we adhere to safety rules and principles. I believe that this thing has sink down into us because, one, on the process of working and you are violating safety rules, I don't take that kindly, irrespective of who you are. I am not looking at age, position, whatever. Be it MD, be it CEO. If you violate safety rules, we will treat it the way it is. And one of my best way of doing it to send you out of the site and you close for that day. So let's work safely. Let's act safely. By tomorrow, I'll bring the do's and don'ts on the site and work accordingly. Safety, yes. Safety, always. Safety. Yes. If you see something, say something and do something. Thank you very much.